something that was a little disappointing was the commentary and just kind of hearing the way that they were looking at the fight, and it made me feel like they didn't really know what was going on as much. And to hear things like DC say, "Oh, he's not ready for Hamza," and I think he was kind of trying to like be respectful, but also trying to like I don't know.
What's up, guys? Today we will be discussing UFC Moines. We're gonna be talking about UFC Fight Night Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. It was a weird card. It was kind of shit, guys. It was kind of mid. It was kind of a shit card. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was good. No, it had good moments, like 2 good moments, maybe 3. It was. Let's just get right into it. I didn't go good on picks, by the way, but I don't really care about that. Juliana Miller, Ivana Petrovic. So I picked Ivana Petrovic, and Juliana Miller is just... I know this is a women's fight, so I knew that this was always going to be a coin toss. But the massive underdog, Juliana, whatever her name is, won the fight. And this fight was awful, and there's not a lot to say. I'm not surprised by it. Women's MMA has been on a good streak of fights, but this killed the streak dead. So, what do you expect? I mean, what do you guys want? What do you guys want? You get better fights from 2 drunk guys on the street than these high-level women's flyweights that are UFC level. You know? It is what it is. Fuck the sport. Thomas Petersen, Dontel Mays. Again, I picked Dontel Mays. Thomas Petersen ain't good. I mean, he's okay, but neither of these guys are good. I always knew this was going to be a toss-up because it's heavyweight MMA. But Dontel Mays got out-grappled by Thomas Petersen, and then that was that. Dontel Mays didn't put any pressure on Thomas Petersen. He didn't think to try to go for a finish and, let me work on the front foot more. And this is really the problem I have with these MMA fighters. These... I want to say lower level MMA fighters, but these guys are unranked heavyweights. I mean, some of these guys are just so awful at actually going for it, especially in that 3rd round when you're down in the scorecards. Whatever, bro. What do you want me to say about this sport, guys? It's a coin toss. Every fight is a coin toss. I got that pick wrong. Another pick I got wrong. I picked Gaston Bolanos. Better guy, better wins. More well-rounded, but apparently that's just not the case. He gets subbed in the 2nd round, just slept like that. What the hell? What the fuck, man? How do I pick these sport, man? What does that? I don't know, man. Seriously, weird sport, man. Quang Lee just is good all of a sudden. All of a sudden, Quang Lee's just gained skill, Another fight. Marina. So I was on a 3-fight wrong picks street. And I also picked Marina Rodriguez, I'm pretty sure. I think so. Marina Rodriguez, Gillian Robertson. Another fight. Just Marina Rodriguez gets out-grappled. I thought she had good grappling. That was the reason I picked her. And apparently she doesn't. Julian Robertson's 40 and she's still kind of decent. I don't know how to pick this sport anymore. I really maybe you guys should just pick my fights, or maybe I should just genuinely, I'm going to start flipping coins. I'm not even kidding. So, Ari Hawani heard the word coins and he's going to break into my room. But seriously though, I'm going to start flipping coins. It's it's actually ridiculous, this sport. I don't know how to pick. I just don't. Marina Rodriguez, this has never happened to her, ever, where she's been out-grappled like this. And then she gets out-grappled and just TKO'd. And the shots were just so bad. It was one of those TKOs where it was just dude, Marina Rodriguez, if that... Whatever, bro. It's women's MMA. Again, coin toss. Ryan Loder. Okay, I got this fight right. Ryan Loder, Azamat Bekoev. Azamat Bekoev won. 1st round KO like I predicted. I think I did predict, first round KO, I'm pretty sure. TKO, KO. It was more like a KO than a TKO. He kind of slumped him a little bit. Ryan Loder just ain't he just ain't good. Now, Bekoev, it wasn't an amazing finish. I'm about to burp. Wait. Okay, it's stuck. Actually, no, I got it. Sorry. Azamat Bekoev, it wasn't like an amazing performance. I actually didn't like the way he looked at all. I thought he looked very like, what's the word? Just like tight, you know? He didn't look loose. He looked very like robotic almost. The way he was just throwing. He looks like he has too much muscle or something. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You know, it's not like when you see Ilya and he flows, or like JDM, you know, it was very like, I don't know, maybe he has short arms, so it just looks funny, but I don't know, I didn't love it. I thought he kind of punched himself out a little bit, but he got back and then he ended up getting the finish, but, you know, decently impressive. But Ryan Loder, I don't really rate him. I told you guys that. That's why I picked Bekoev to win. So one good pick right so far in the prelims. And surprisingly, I actually got this pick right, and this chick was an underdog. Yana Santos beat Miesha Tate. I don't know why Yana Santos was an underdog, and I don't know why people picked Yana Santos to lose. I picked Yana Santos to win this fight via decision, and she did, because she's just been more active. I know like her record ain't the best. I know she's coming off of a loss, I think, before this, but Miesha Tate is, yes, she's coming off of a win, and she's a good grappler and stuff, but she hasn't fought since 2023. Like, you just can't be good enough with that level of inactivity. I'm sorry. I've like, you've seen it time and time again this year. You saw it with Nikita Krylov. You can't go away for 2 years, 2.5 years, then come back and think, oh, he might do all right. You know, the guy that Gene Silva knocked out before Bryce Mitchell, he was gone for like 2 years as well. That's how it works. The guy that Ikram Maliskarov just beat, he was gone for 2 years. That level of inactivity, that's rusty enough to where, like, yeah, even though Miesha Tate won the third round and she was looking good in the third round, it's because she hadn't fought in 2 years. It took her up until the third round to finally, like, get into the fight, but by then it was too late. Maybe if it was a 5-rounder, she could have swung it back, but it was a 3-rounder, so. Yana Santos won. I picked her to win. I'm going to take my wins where I can get them, so good pick by me, I guess. And she was not a big underdog, but she was an underdog, so. Shout out to her, I guess. But up until that point, I mean, the prelims are just awful, right? Like, you got 2 finishes, one good sub, and then you got 3. You got the Gillian Robertson one. I mean, it was okay. The prelims are fine. But before we get to the main card, it's just like a lot of these fights were kind of just like very grappling heavy, you know? Like, Miller Petrovic is very like grappling, just like laying half guard, laying full guard. Same with Petersen, Dontel Mays. Then you get a sub. Then you get more grappling. Then you get Bekoev finish. Then you get more grappling with Sam. It's just like this was like a really just sluggish. I don't know. It was weird. Everyone was fighting like they were in their dreams or something. But then these two based Chads. So Jeremy Stephens, Mason Jones. This fight honestly is one of my favorite fights of the year. I'm not even kidding. One of my favorite fights of the year. And that's not saying much, I know. This year's been pretty awful for fights. But, and this, I don't think this got fight of the night at all. I don't think this got a fight of the night bonus. But we'll give performance of the night to the millionaire Cory Sandhagen, though. Hilarious. Anyways, it's crazy. Jeremy Stephens, I picked him to win, but I knew he wasn't going to win this. I kind of picked it for fun, you know. I picked it. What the hell was that? Why did I breathe like that? I picked Jeremy Stephens to win, and yeah, I knew he wasn't going to win, but, you know, it is what it is. He did very good, though. He did very good for a guy who hasn't fought in MMA in about 2 years, 3 years. It's been longer than 2 years. It's been a couple of years now. He hasn't fought in MMA, and which kind of disproved my entire point, but he's still been active. He's still been doing some sort of, like, fighting, so it's not like he was like super rusty. I like the way he looked. His low kicks surprised me. He threw a lot of low kicks. He overthrew a lot, unfortunately, which probably tired him out, tired his arms out, but also he didn't set up a lot of shots really well. Like, he didn't really try to get on the inside, and, you know, he kind of just kind of threw these big meaty hooks and these big overhands. Shout out Lucas Tracy, the big meaty hooks. He threw a lot of these sort of big shots, but like, I think if he would have set them up better, and if he had a bit better footwork, but obviously he's like 38, like it's too late for all that. But my point is he did pretty good, and Mason Jones has a chin. You know, Mason Jones has a chin, and so does Jeremy Stephens, because a lot of people thought Jeremy Stephens' chin was effed. He's still got a chin. He still has a chin. He still has proven that his chin it held up in this fight. He took a nasty spinning back elbow, I think, from Mason Jones, and a wheel kick, and a high kick that landed clean, or a head kick that landed clean. Just a lot of good shots. But yeah, the first 2 rounds, a war, absolute war for the first 2 rounds, and he did a good job of not getting super controlled on the ground. Like, yeah, he did in the first round at the end, but then there was a point where he shucked off Mason Jones. I was like, let's go, man. I was live reacting to it. It was just absolutely awesome, in my opinion, absolutely awesome. So, yeah, there's not much to say. One of my favorite fights of the year. The third round was it was really, it wasn't terrible, but it was just Mason Jones kind of stalling because he knew he had to get that decision, and he was just stalling, and he even admitted it, which is kind of crazy how like you can just, I just stalled in the third round to get that decision. It is what it is. I mean, the first 2 rounds were good at least. Not much to say. I think the UFC should keep Jeremy Stephens. I think this is a 1-fight deal for him. I say keep him. I say keep him on a contract. I honestly do. I don't think he should retire. I thought he kind of was because, obviously, like, this is like his home city or whatever, his hometown. So I was like, he might retire, but I don't think he should. I honestly don't think he should. I think he should stay in the UFC. And fight like unranked legends. Like fight freaking who's the guy chasing Jim Miller? Fight Jim Miller. Fight Michael Johnson. Fight Bobby Green. Dude, you guys are telling me you don't want to see Jeremy Stephens versus Bobby Green or Jeremy Stephens versus Michael Johnson. So I think he should stay in the UFC. I think, you know what? Let's do Chandler versus Jeremy. I'm kidding. As for Mason Jones, I mean, he looked really good. His striking really impressed me. I know he was a good striker, but very dynamic. Very, very dynamic. And he has a good chin. He has good distance management. He's good at staying at range. And, obviously Stephens was telegraphing a lot of his big shots, but, like, still, like, Jeremy Stephens ain't no slouch. So even he still had his speed. I was really surprised by Jeremy Stephens' speed. He still had his speed even for his age, and really impressive. He lost and he kind of got his ass beat at times, but still a really impressive performance by Stephens, but also a really tremendous performance by Mason Jones. Legitimately an awesome fight. So I picked Stephens, but who cares? Another fight that was just, you get what the fight that I just spent like 10 minutes talking about. Now you get a fight like this. Cameron Smotherman, Serhi. Another one of these weird, like, stalling fights. It was just odd. There was a lot of these fights tonight where it was just kind of like these guys were like frozen. And this fight was another one where it was just like you had 2 guys that were like almost like scared of like each other's abilities or something. It was weird, man. This fight was awful. Really boring. Really, really, really boring, honestly. Tremendously boring. You just... What? Like, what do you guys want me to say? You just didn't have anything. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Just awful fight. I picked Cameron Smotherman, by the way. Serhi won. How do I pick this sport? I don't know. It's just extremely hard to pick. Yeah, the young up-and-coming prospect who's a good striker, good grappler. Of course he's going to win, right? And then Serhi just wins. But that's the problem with these guys. It's like they just accept. You know what? I'm going to go on this rant. When you see guys like Reinier de Ridder or Dricus du Plessis, right? Or even JDM, right? Because he's a bit more technical than those other 2 guys I just named. These guys, like, it's like guys like Cameron Smotherman and these other fighters in the UFC, sometimes what they do is they just kind of accept, like, losses pretty easily. Cannonier against Adesanya all those years back. Sometimes, you guys know what I mean? It's just like, oh, I'm getting outpointed. Let me just keep getting outpointed. Oh, I'm still getting outpointed. Yeah, I'm just going to... It's like it's almost like they think their strategy... They want to... Like, they don't want to detract from their strategy or their fighting style. So they just want to... I don't know how to explain it. Instead of just going for the finish. Like I'll use the Cannonier fight against Izzy all those years ago as an example, right? Cannonier was getting outpointed for 5 rounds and didn't once think to just go forward and try to knock out Izzy and just risk that. Is that what it is? They just don't want to get KO'd? They're so scared of the risk of getting KO'd? Because I don't know, man. I see guys like Reinier de Ridder who just throws. He just throws anything. Throws knees up the middle, throws uppercuts. Even though it looks sloppy sometimes, he just throws. And it usually lands. Yeah, he leaves a risk of leaving his chin out, but he has a good chin. And most of these guys have pretty decent chins. It's not like these guys. Some of these guys fight like they got like, who has like a really bad chin? I don't know. And Bobby Green, he has a good chin. Terrence McKinney, he's kind of got a mid chin, to be honest, nowadays. Maybe like him. They fight like they have like a Terrence McKinney level chin where it's just a jab is just gonna put him out cold. Like a James Vick, right? Isn't that his name? When he used to fight, he used to get chinned by everybody. It's like some of these guys, they fight like they got like a James Vick level chin where it's like a jab is gonna put them out. Like, dude, take a risk. Go for the finish. You're down 3-0 or 2-0. In the third round, you should bite down and just go forward. I know it's easier said than done, but I've seen fighters do it. I saw Reinier de Ridder do it a couple fights later. I've seen DDP do it. He did it against Adesanya. DDP was getting lit up at times against Izzy. He could have easily just kept getting lit up, maybe made some of the rounds close, but he probably would have lost a decision to Adesanya. But he bit down. He said, no, I'm going to go forward. I'm going to try to get this guy out of here. He dropped Izzy, and then he subbed him. It's like these guys are like, they don't have like any fire in their ass. I don't know, man. Where's like the let me win this fight? Or JDM against Gilbert Burns in the third round. He was losing 2-0 off of control time. I mean, on the feet, he was winning clearly, but then in the third round, he doesn't, he bit down on the mouthpiece. He hit him with that knee, and he goes for the finish. It's like, and he had a broken arm as well. It's like some of these guys, they just don't go for it, man. They don't go for it the way that others do. And you saw that a lot on this card. These guys, they just mentally accept these losses so easily. Like, yeah, Serhi said he beat me. I'm just going to stay at range. And I just lost. And that's it. The fight's over. 15 minutes of nothing is what this fight was. And this same with this next fight. Montel Jackson, Daniel Marcos, another shit fight. I picked Montel Jackson. He won. I thought it was gonna be a banger. I honestly thought this could have been like a really good back and forth. Marcos is pretty solid. He has a good chin. Jackson is a really underrated striker, but I see why he's underrated. I see why nobody cares about him, because then he'll have a fight like this. So I don't know what you guys want me to say. He's 15 ranked. He fights once a year. Marcos was 17-0. I always knew that was a sham of a record anyways. I mean, he made it close with Yana at that time. So another awful fight. Again, it's the same thing. You're losing the fight. Go for it. Go for a finish. Win the fight. Bite down on the mouthpiece. Say, damn, I'm losing this fight. Let me go forward. Fuck it. If I get KO'd, I get KO'd. I'll go out on my shield. If I get tagged, I'll get tagged. But yeah, some fighters just accept losses, and I think this was one of those. Another dull fight. Just weird. Just kind of like, almost, some of these fights almost were just like sparring matches, man. Odd. And if you guys watch boxing as well, bro, there was like a Canelo card, and then there was like a Ryan Garcia card. Both cards stung too. It's like combat sports is just like, I don't know what it is. These guys are just like, maybe it's just, I don't know. I don't know what's happened to the game I love, but it is what it is. Ponzinibbio versus Daniel Rodriguez. This fight was a bit better, but still kind of, the first 2 rounds were kind of mid in my opinion. It was better though. It was better for sure. It was not a bit better. It was a lot better. Because these guys are not these young fighters who have no heart. They're actually like old vets who like actually like don't want to be cut, so they want to actually try, and they're kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, these guys actually like have heart and stuff, and actually like came from something, and didn't just choose to join the UFC like a name like a Montel Jackson or like an Arman Sarukian, to use him as an example, even though he's really good. But I just did a whole video on him. Check that out. But D-Rod versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. I picked Ponzinibbio to win. What do you guys want me to say? I picked him to win. He didn't win. And D-Rod knocked him out in the third round. That's it. No, I mean, yeah, really, that was about it. I think he rocked him in the first as well. It looked like 2 old guys. It looked like 2 Mexicans fighting. I know Ponzinibbio's not Mexican, but it looked like 2 Mexicans going at it. And not in the John Jones way, but in a fighting way. But then D-Rod just got the KO. It was a good KO. It was actually pretty funny. Ponzinibbio, like, he got up like a zombie, and like blood still wanted to fight. I don't know. It was funny. Good for D-Rod, man. He kind of needed something like this. One of these guys needed a moment like this for them. I think D-Rod kind of probably needed it more. Even though I like Ponzinibbio, at least D-Rod kind of shows up, and he's decent, you know. He's a decent boxer, always there for a scrap, so shout out to him, I guess. But sad for the Ponzinibbio fans out there. I picked him to win, but who cares, right? RDR versus Bo Nickal, finally. Look, I already did a separate video on this. That was more of my immediate reaction, though, if you want to check that out. That was literally like 30 minutes, 20 minutes after. But Reinier de Ridder versus Bo Nickal. I mean, just tremendous from Reinier de Ridder. Excellent, excellent, excellent performance. Reinier de Ridder is the opposite of what I was complaining about earlier. And I said this obviously, but a lot of guys on this card accepted just sort of being at range and let me tap the low kicks and let me feint, low kick, feint, low kick, feint, body kick, feint, double leg, level change, whiffs a jab. Like, you know, these guys are just pretty stale one-note fighters. Reinier de Ridder's the opposite. Reinier de Ridder instantly, as soon as the fight starts, gets in Bo Nickal's face, instantly just throws, instantly clinches. He's the one initiating the grappling exchanges, and he had CTE, and he had success. He had success, and I said he was. Like, I mean, I predicted Reinier de Ridder to win by decision, though, not by a finish, not by a body knee. No one predicted him to win via knee to the chest. I predicted him to win via decision, but I said he was going to smudge Bo Nickal. I think I said he was going to out-grapple Bo Nickal. He was going to be stronger than Bo Nickal, and he'll do well enough on the feet as well to just get the win. You know? I didn't think he was going to just completely dominate Bo Nickal, but I thought it was going to be one of those, and it was one of those, but he finished him. So, first round is not super competitive, like, you know, not super competitive. Reinier de Ridder kind of just, he outmuscles him. I mean, like, and I said this already, but as soon as the fight starts, like, you could just, you could just tell Bo Nickal's fucked. I mean, let's just say it how it is. Reinier de Ridder's this 6'5" motherfucking weight bully. He's huge for middleweight. Most middleweights at that higher level are huge, like Kyle Braujo and Adesanya, DDP. He is huge for middleweight. The height, the size, like, he just looks so much bigger than Bo, man. And I was just like, yeah, Bo's fucked. Yeah, Bo's fucked. And that's what it was. Like, it was just what it was, man. The first round, he wins. I think Bo gets some sort of good position on the ground. I think he got like full mount for a bit or something. He might have got a takedown, or he might have got like a good reversal. I can't remember clearly, but it just it was all Reinier de Ridder. He was on top at the end of the round. Bo already looked defeated as soon as the round ends. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed this. He was like going to the corner. He was looking like, I think the problem with Bo is that he gets in his head too much. You know, I think after his, like, I don't know if it was his last fight or the fight before that against Brundage, but he was like, yeah, I didn't like that performance, man. And I don't know, maybe that's a competitor in him or whatever the case may be, but he looked like disappointed as soon as round one ended in this fight. And we get to round two, and it's just we get to round two, and it's just like, again, Reinier de Ridder getting in Bo's face, and this time it was more striking, a bit of clinch work as well in the clinch, man. Reinier de Ridder is pretty good in the clinch, and he lands a really nice knee up the middle on Bo. And I didn't like Bo's reaction to it. Then up the cage, he's landing these freaking looping punches. I did not like Bo's reaction. He has him in the clinch. He's landing these sort of clinch shots. Bo's reaction was awful. He was like wincing. His face was like, ugh, he was wincing, man. It was a really bad look. It was one of those where it's like, this guy's never been punched in the face, huh? Like, I know Reinier de Ridder is really good, and I'm not gonna say Bo Nickal's not like some warrior. Look, he made it to the UFC. He made it to the heights of amateur wrestling. I think he said he did boxing as a child. Like, respect to him, you know. But It just was a bad look. He just got dominated on the feet, dominated on the ground. It really was a bad look. I'm sorry. There's no other way I could put it. It just looks so bad. It wasn't like, oh, he had a moment of success. Oh, he dropped Reinier de Ridder. Oh, he almost subbed Reinier de Ridder. I didn't mention this because it really wasn't like that significant, but he had like a slight guillotine attempt. It was like a decent attempt, but I knew it wasn't in. The commentators were like, oh, but it wasn't in. Clearly it wasn't in. And that's the thing. I don't think Bo Nickal like just has the strength, I don't think he had the strength in this fight to beat a guy like Reinier de Ridder. And I said this in my prediction video. I said, look, when you look at his competition, the better his competition gets, the worse Bo Nickal's performances look. Now, obviously, Bo Nickal has been improving every single fight, right? But has he, though? I mean, looking at this fight and looking at the Cody Brundage fight but he knocked out Val Woodburn, which I don't know how you could pick Bo Nickal to win a TKO or a KO. If you pick Bo Nickal via like decision or even a sub, like all right, if you pick Bo Nickal by a standing KO, like I don't know, it is what it is. He was taking these shots against the cage. He didn't know how to deal with it. I just got off of a whole tangent there, but I got off track. Sorry. He's taking these shots against the cage, pause, and then, like, Reinier de Ridder just lands, like, a big knee. And honestly, if you watch the first round, he was landing some good knees to the body as well. Like, he was already working the body as the fight was going on, And Bo did not look, like, Bo was, like, kind of covering his body a bit. He did not like those body shots. And in round 2, it was more to the chest. But he lands this knee to like the chest or the body, and he just crumbles. He literally just crumbles. And that's it. That's the fight. Reinier de Ridder destroys Bo Nickal. Beat him in the first round very clearly. Was piecing him up before the finish, then just knees him to the chest and finishes him. Like what? Like just. I feel bad. I feel bad for Bo Nickal. To an extent. Not really. No, I don't. I don't because he's not like he's a dickhead. He was over here talking about he could be Hamzat, he could be Drickus, he could be all these guys. I'm gonna show them what real wrestling is and all that. I never thought Bo was gonna be high level, but I didn't think he was gonna be RDR. He's not like this is bad. He's not even like rank worthy. He can't even beat any of these ranked guys. It's really interesting, honestly. This like new school of MMA fighters. I don't know if you guys have seen, but like I think like more than a dozen fighters this year have lost their O. Like Umar, Peyton Talbot, Tatiana Suarez, Bo Nickal, Shara Magomedov. There's a couple other names. I don't know what it is, man. The Shara Magomedov as well performance against MVP. It's like these new school guys are just not good. I don't know. It's weird. Not that they're not good. I shouldn't say that because there are new school guys that are in the rankings that are knocking people out like Gene Silva and Rufy, but Ludovic Klein's pretty good and these other names, Joel Alvarez, even though he's not really new, but it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like there's just certain guys like Bo Nickal. And what I think it is, to be honest with you, is maybe the UFC just put too much hype behind them while also kind of... Because they didn't rush Bo Nickal. I mean, they gave him a lot of favorable matchups. He had to fight like 5 guys. Then he gets a ranked opponent. I don't think Paul Craig was ranked. So, like, I believe this is his first ranked opponent in his entire UFC career, and he's had like 5 fights prior to this, or 4 or 5 fights. A couple of finishes thrown in there. Then obviously he was on Contender Series. Like they've taken it pretty slow with Bo Nickal, but he just not enough. I don't know. I guess he needed to fight 5 more Cody Brundages and a couple more freaking Val Woodburns before he could be decent. 5 more Jamie Pickett's. then you could get a ranked name. Like, how much more? They really took time to build this guy up. Then they give him a guy like Reinier de Ridder, which is a winnable fight for Bo. It should have been a winnable fight. And if he can't beat Reinier de Ridder, he couldn't beat... I mean, this guy was talking about beating Khamzat, man. He was talking about beating Khamzat Chimaev. It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing to the sport. And he needs to... he needs to retire, I think. I say he should retire. And no, I've seen people say that. I don't think he should retire. He's relatively young. I don't know what he should do though. I really don't know what Bo Nickal could do at this stage of his life and career. He might retire. I don't know. It's a tricky situation if you're a Bo Nickal. If you're a Bo Nickal fan, I feel bad for you guys, but I don't know. Reinier de Ridder, as for him, destroyed Bo Nickal. I say do Reinier de Ridder versus Strickland. That's who he called out. Do it. Do Reinier de Ridder versus Sean Strickland. Great fight. Winnable for him. Bo, I say do Bo Nickal versus Taurus Finney. I was going to say Sharat Magomedov because they're both in a similar position, but nah. Maybe Ikram, but Ikram would probably knock him out. Damn, man. It's like, what do you do with this guy? He didn't look promising on the feet. He didn't look good on the ground. Should he just... I saw someone say, like, in a comment section somewhere, he should take, like, a year off and really, like... I disagree. I think I actually think him being so inconsistent is why he lost. He's not used to being in the octagon, getting punched in the face, facing adversity, being up against the cage, getting kneed in the clinch, getting taken down, then having to... He's not used to that yet. He's not used to losing a round and then having to come back in the second or third. He's not used to that. You know, he might get pieced up in sparring a little bit, but he's not used to, like, losing those sort of moments, especially in front of a crowd. I think he should be really active. If I'm Bo Nickal, I'm coming back in August on that Pereira Ankalaev card, or, you know, International Fight Week is too soon, obviously, but come back in August, September. Don't wait until next January to fight again. That's literally why you're here. Because you're not used to getting hit in the face. You're not used to any adversity. Reinier de Ridder has like dozens of fights. Probably has a bunch of amateur fights. Has probably done like kickboxing or some other sport. He's used to that. He's used to getting hit in the face and biting down on the mouthpiece and then hitting back. Bo Nickal's not used to that. He's been hit, you know, before by like little shots. He's never been like rocked or anything. Then you face a guy with decent power and you just crumble instantly. That's how it looked to me. I'm not going to say he has no heart, and obviously he has enough balls to get in the octagon, but come on, dude. You know. At least he did better than Anthony Smith, though, so it is what it is. Let's get on to the main event. I picked Reinier de Ridder. I got that pick right. But I wasn't super confident, you know, but hey. I also picked Cory Sandhagen. And he won. Cory Sandhagen won this fight. I thought it was a good performance from Cory in terms of... I thought he looked good. I thought his striking looked really good. Figueiredo, though, he looked awful. Figueiredo looked actually really awful. He really looked awful. I thought Figueiredo was going to do a lot better. I thought he was going to be able to even drop Cory at one point. He just looked awful. Like he was going for a bunch of heel hooks over and over again. On the feet, he looked mid. He looked very like flat-footed. Cory's just really freaking good, man. Good low kicks. Good grappling. Won all the grappling exchanges. Always made good reversals. Had his own knee bar, which caused the finish. But he just looked so much better. I really liked the way he looked. He looked a little bit more aggressive than usual. Way more aggressive. He wasn't like in the Umar fight where he's like, let me feint a low kick and then feint a jab and then then I'll throw a 2 to the thigh. No, he was actually like throwing punches. He was actually throwing, He was trying. He was going forward. He was pressuring. And Figueiredo just looked awful. Maybe Figueiredo's always been an ass. I mean, really, look at his record. No, I'm kidding. Imagine I'm just like, you know what? Figueiredo was never good. Now, obviously, Figueiredo's great, man. Figueiredo's great, but losing to Peter Yan like that and then Cory like that back-to-back is just, it's just a bad look, man. It's a really bad look. It's a really bad look. Yeah, I didn't like this from Deiveson Figueiredo at all. Low IQ moments, just going for heel hooks like 3 times. He did it in round 1 and then did it again in round 2. And it caused him to get freaking heel hooked himself. Then he like kind of falls back, I think, or something. And then his knee pops. And he screams in Brazil, in Portuguese. And then he gets hammer fisted. And then that was it. Cory looks at the ref like, I'm ref. He's out. And then that was it. So overall, like, not a good performance from Figueiredo at all. Really good performance from Cory. I say give him a title shot next. I actually say give him a title shot. I say give him the winner of Merab O'Malley. I think it's fair, honestly. And then I say give the winner of that fight Peter Yan. If Peter Yan beats, well, it's rumored he's going to face Marcus McGee. I think he wins that pretty comfortably. I say give Peter Yan the next title shot if he beats Marcus McGee. So after Cory Sandhagen, obviously. Or he could do Cory versus Peter Yan, but I don't really want that. Overall, though, Cory Sandhagen, I think he deserves the title shot. And I like his chances a lot against Merab Dvalishvili. The fuck, there's like a hair in my mouth. I like his chances a lot against Merab and Sean O'Malley, to be honest. So, I say do it. I think it's winnable. Good performance from Cory, but, Figueiredo just quit because I'm kidding. He didn't quit, but his ACL just exploded Darren Till style in the middle of the fight. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I wanted a more emphatic statement, emphatic fight from Cory, but it is what it is. Overall, the card was pretty. When you really go through it, it's kind of awful. I mean, main event was like solid, I guess, until the Cory Sandhagen. I don't know what that was, and then co-main event was obviously really crazy because Reinier de Ridder got a knockout. D-Rod got a cool knockout. Then you got 2 shit fights in a row. Then you got a great fight of the year contender with Stevens and Mason Jones. Another shit fight. And then you got a decent finish. A good finish. It was a good finish. Good knockout from Azamat. Mid-finish from Gillian Robertson. Mid-finish from Quang. It was just a sub. It was a good sub, but it was just like, Then you had 2 awful fights. It was just like a weird card, man. Everyone was just fighting like they were on drugs or something, but maybe they should all take steroids or something. Anyways, make sure you guys like and sub, become a member in the description, and see you guys. God bless you guys, and we'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.